spectrum. And I also know that from my own experience and also from working with people for almost 30 years, that people on the autism spectrum can do almost anything, any kind of thing that you can imagine. So with that understanding, I want to dive into some. Now, before I start talking to you like all about autism and what it is, how it works, I wanna kind of paint a picture for you and describe something to you. Okay. So here is what we're gonna do. I want you to imagine that you are sitting in a park or an area near your house, and you're reading a book that you really like. So I don't know what kind of book. You probably each like different kind of stuff. So maybe you like science fiction books, a book on science, or I don't know, Disney or a Star Wars book. Anyway, you're reading your book, right? You're into your book, right? And some big, loud, bald guy, looks like me, comes up to you and is like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing, man? Hey, it's good to see you. How you doing? Hey, listen, there's a great movie playing just down the street. I really think we should go see it because you've been sitting there alone for like 2 hours. Put the book away. I know you love it, but it's not important right now. Let's put the book away and go see a movie with me." And you're really excited to have some time alone to read this book. So you turn to me and you're like, "Hey, uh, thanks for the offer, but man, can you just leave me alone? I don't want to go to the movies. I don't even like movies. I just want to read my book." And I go, I wonder why you're not paying attention to me. And so I try to do all these different things to get your attention. I run around, get right in your face and go, "Hello, hello, look at me, right here, right here. Come on, let's put the book away. We got to see a movie. It's starting soon. You should really put the book away." And now you're getting a little upset with me, and you're like, "Seriously, man, you, my book, please." And then realize what the problem is. The problem is your book. And I just have to find a way to get this out of the way, and then I'm sure you'll pay attention to me and go to the movies with me. So I walk over to the book from you, and you're like, hey, man, give that back. And I hold the book up like this, and I go, oh, hold on. You aren't gonna really want to be around me after that, right? I mean, you're not gonna say yes to going to the movies with me, but you're also just gonna be like, "I'm this guy. It's in your. I don't seem to care about what's important to you or what you're interested to you. I don't actually even come over to you. I just come over nearby you, and I sit on a bench, kind of near you, but not right next to you. And I'm actually carrying my own book because I'm just there to read. So I take out my own book and I start reading, but just to myself. And that's fine for a few minutes, but then you look over at me and you're like, "Wait a minute, this is crazy. Uh, this guy who's sitting next to me, this weird looking bald guy who's sitting right there, is reading the same book that I'm reading. This is what you're thinking because I am reading the same book as you." So you kind of have to say something now because you can't believe what a coincidence it is that I love the same thing you love. I'm reading the same thing you're reading. So now you actually start talking to me. I don't even start talking to you. You start and you're like, "Hey, you know, that's the same book I'm reading." And I'm reading. I'm like, oh yeah, I noticed that. That's pretty cool. And then you're like, "No, but this is like one of my favorite books." And I go, "Oh, that's crazy. This is my favorite book. That is other books written by the same person and other types of books that are similar." And we get into a whole conversation about it. Right? And then it's time for me to go. So I say, "Listen, I got to go, but I don't know if you know this, but in about 5 days, the movie version of this book is coming out. So, if you want to go see it, I'm going to be going to see it on Friday night. And if you want to come with me, you can." So, why did I just explain that all to you? Because the first version of that story is what life is like for most people who are autistic, which is they're just trying to do what they need to do to feel good, to feel okay, to calm themselves down, to have a good time. They're doing something that is important to them or that they enjoy, and everyone else acts like I was acting, which is they try to interrupt them, they try to distract them, they try to get them to put it down, they try to get them to do something different, and they try to get them to go their way. And all this does is it makes things really stressful for the person who's autistic. It makes the autistic person not trust the other person, and it kind of breaks the relationship between the two people, and makes it very difficult for communication to happen. Right? And you can think about how you'd feel yourself, right? How you would feel if everyone around you all the time was always trying to stop you from doing things that you either love to do or things that felt relaxing for you to do and calming for you to do. If everyone all the time didn't really care about that, was just trying to stop you and just trying to drag you their way, make you do their thing, right? Can you imagine how that would feel, right? It'd feel really difficult, feel kind of stressful. You wouldn't trust people, right? So this is what's really important to understand about all these wonderful autistic people who are all around us in our world. And the other thing that's important to understand is that every brain is different. Every brain, not just autistic people's brains, every brain, all of you in this room, all your brains are different from each other. They're not all exactly the same, right? So, for instance, some of you are probably find it really easy to do math, but harder to do reading. Some of you probably find it really easy to do reading, but harder to do math. Some of you probably have to work really hard to be decent at sports, right? Some of you are probably really fast runners. Some of you are slow runners. Some of you are probably really good at figuring out complicated problems. And some of you are probably really good at drawing pictures, right? So every brain is different. Every brain has things that it's naturally good at and that is naturally harder for it. And that's okay, because it's okay that we're all different. And it's also okay because even if you're not naturally good at something, you can work